Counter-Strike is one of the fastest-paced mobile FPS games, and almost every match comes down to one thing: winning your gunfights. You can have the best loot, the strongest weapons, and the perfect loadout, but if you keep losing your fights, none of that matters. In this video, I'm going to show you 5 simple tricks that top Bloodstrike players use to win more gunfights consistently. These aren't impossible mechanics or flashy movement techniques. They're practical habits you can start using in your very next match. If you find this video helpful in any way, don't forget to subscribe because I'll be making more Bloodstrike guides like this to help you improve. Let's get into the first trick. Tip number 1. Win the first shot. The first few bullets often decide the entire fight. That's why top players don't panic the moment they see an enemy. They focus on landing accurate opening shots. A mistake I see all the time is players spotting an enemy and immediately holding down the fire button while their crosshair is still moving. They end up missing half their magazine before their aim is even on target. Instead, slow yourself down for a split second. Get your crosshair on the enemy's upper chest or head first, then start shooting. It might feel slower at first, but you'll land far more bullets, and in most fights, accuracy beats speed. Another thing you should do is focus your eyes on the enemy and your crosshair, not the entire screen. This helps you make smaller, more accurate adjustments instead of wildly dragging your aim around. If the enemy suddenly changes direction, don't keep spraying and hoping your bullets connect. Let go of the fire button for a moment, adjust your aim, then continue shooting. Those tiny pauses often deal more damage than spraying an entire magazine. You should also spend a few minutes in the training range before jumping into ranked. Practice snapping onto targets and landing your first few bullets accurately. Winning the first shot doesn't guarantee you'll win every fight, but it forces your opponent onto the defensive immediately. Once they're taking damage first, they usually panic, rush their shots, or try to escape, and that's exactly what you want. Tip number 2. Fight smarter, not harder. One of the biggest differences between average players and Mythic players is that Mythic players almost never take fair fights. They create an advantage before the fight even begins. Before shooting, quickly ask yourself 3 questions. Do I have cover? Can I move left or right if things go wrong? Do I have a way to escape? If the answer to any of those questions is no, reposition first. Never feel like you have to shoot immediately just because you saw an enemy. Sometimes waiting 2 seconds for a better angle gives you a much higher chance of winning. Always fight near walls, rocks, vehicles, windows, or buildings. These let you peek, deal damage, and immediately return to safety if your armor breaks. Another habit that separates good players is changing positions after every knock. Many players eliminate one enemy and continue fighting from the exact same spot. The remaining enemies already know where you are. Instead, move to a different angle before taking your next fight. Even moving 10 or 15 meters forces your opponents to search for you again. You should also fake your peeks occasionally. Quickly show yourself, then move back behind cover without shooting. A lot of players will waste bullets or push your position because they think you're fully committed to the fight. Now they're walking straight into your crosshair. Remember, gunfights aren't won by the player with the fastest fingers. They're won by the player who forces their opponent into the worst position. Tip number 3. Fix your settings. A lot of players spend hours looking for better aim, but never touch the settings that affect every gunfight. Your controls should help you react faster, not slow you down. If you're comfortable with it, set both fire buttons to hip fire. This gives you more flexibility in close-range fights. Use hold to ADS, so you can leave your scope the moment you release your finger. This makes movement feel much smoother during fights. If you're already confident with your aim, switch Aim Assist to Expert. It gives you more control instead of doing too much of the work for you. Your sensitivity also matters. If your firing sensitivity is too high, your crosshair will bounce all over the place during sprays. If it's too low, you'll struggle to track fast-moving enemies. Spend a few warm-up matches adjusting your sensitivity until tracking feels comfortable. Don't copy another player's settings just because they're good. Their phone, screen size, and playstyle are different from yours. Use their settings as a starting point, then make small changes until they fit you. The best settings are the ones that feel natural in your hands. Tip number 4. Use sound like a weapon. Most players only react to what they can see. Good players react to what they hear. Footsteps, reloads, sliding, jumping, zip lines, and striker abilities all give away valuable information. If you're playing with loud music or low game volume, you're missing free information every single match. Turn your music volume down or completely off. Keep your sound effects high enough to clearly hear nearby enemies. A good headset also makes a huge difference because it helps you tell exactly where footsteps are coming from. Here's another trick. If you hear an enemy healing or reloading behind cover, that's usually your best chance to push. They can't fight back immediately, so use that short window to pressure them. If you hear multiple sets of footsteps, don't rush in blindly. Instead, pre-aim the most likely entrance and force them to walk into your crosshair. Information wins fights. The player who knows what's happening first usually controls the fight from start to finish. Tip number 5. Fight at your weapon's best range. Every weapon in Bloodstrike has a range where it performs best. Ignoring that is one of the fastest ways to lose a fight. If you're using an SMG, don't challenge someone across an open field. Close the distance first. Use slides, cover, and movement until you're close enough for your weapon to dominate. If you're using an assault rifle, keep the fight at medium range where your accuracy gives you the advantage. There's no reason to chase an SMG user into point-blank range if your weapon performs better from a distance. The same applies to snipers and marksman rifles. Take your shots from strong positions, then relocate before your opponent figures out exactly where you are. Another important habit is switching weapons instead of reloading when an enemy suddenly appears. Swapping to your secondary is usually much faster than waiting for a reload animation. That one decision has saved countless fights. Always ask yourself one question during every engagement. Is this fight happening at my weapon's best range? If the answer is no, change the distance before committing. You'll immediately start winning more fights simply because you're playing to your weapon's strengths instead of its weaknesses. Those are 5 tricks that will help you win more gunfights in Bloodstrike. Land the first shot instead of panic spraying. Fight from strong positions instead of taking fair fights. Use settings that help you react faster. Turn sound into an advantage. And always fight at the range where your weapon performs best. Don't try to master all 5 at once. Focus on one trick each day. Once it becomes a habit, move on to the next one. Before long, you'll notice yourself surviving longer, winning more fights, and climbing the ranks much faster. If you enjoyed this video or learned something new, leave a like, subscribe for more Bloodstrike guides, and let me know in the comments which tip helped you the most. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.